Hello everybody, how's it going today? So today is July the 4th, it's about 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. So guys, there were two views that we had offered yesterday, and I think that one of the two cases actually came true. So what we were talking about last time was this right here, take a look. We were talking about the bearish view, finding a short-term support range between 11,150 and 11,475. And the bullish view was that we would bounce off of the 1 hour chart, or sorry, the 30-minute chart, because we were getting higher highs and higher lows. So we're always going to play it from the perspective of what happened yesterday, right? Okay, so where were we yesterday? Right here. There was some short-term support that could have bounced off of it. And of course, it didn't really have that much of an effect on it. Ended up getting to roughly the $1,100 ranges and then ended up dropping significantly in the past few hours, as we see right here. So the bullish view is for now off of the table, where we would challenge $12,000 again. So let's talk about how we obtained that bearish view. So the first bearish view was easily obtained by setting this resistance right around there, which was a resistance, and now of course it's a support. And of course 11,150 was a fairly significant number for me in general. Okay, and I'm talking about obtaining it all the way from back over here even. Okay, right here, 11,150. These regions right here were acting as a very strong resistance before. June 19th, or sorry, June 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, we finally broke out of it. So I'm always taking these key numbers from the past, because once was a previous resistance will act as a support. And surely enough, if we look at the interaction right around here, where right around the 11,150 was, we had a reaction over here. Of course, here it went down a lot lower. We're talking to the upper 10,000 range, 10,900. But here we're seeing it react very strongly. And here, in my opinion, guys, we're going to have a little bit of a sideways action for probably the next few days. I don't think there's a lot of conviction quite yet to break through it. The volume is slowly waning off. And does that imply that nobody wants to buy up? The bulls are exhausted, they don't want to buy up? Or are the bears exhausted and they don't want to drive down the price lower? And we also take a look at the 30-minute RSI as well, right? It's fairly low already. Whenever RSIs are reaching these sort of low points after a mega run, right, there's usually a small indication that it could bounce or just wane sideways for a little bit. So let's look at it on the bigger picture still, okay? Let's look on the monthly. Monthly is still looking pretty, well, you know what? Monthly is too early to tell. It's only literally 4 days in, so we got to skip that. We're about 4 days into the week already, and last week we had this huge shooting star candle. And right now we're getting this bearishly spinning top, you can call it. It's not the most bullish, it's not the most bearish, but it's certainly an indecision candle that's showing that there's massive resistance at the $12,000 region right now. And the volume is going to start slowly dying off, in my personal opinion. And right now I'm on the fence in terms of what's going to happen very short term. But what I can believe, not because of hope, but just not because of just market sentiment, but because all the indicators are pointing to a longer term bull run that is going to come. In fact, I'm so confident this year that we're going to get to $20,000. And I haven't had time to do a very detailed Elliott wave count quite yet. It takes a lot of time to be grinding it. I'm looking at it on logarithmic scales as well. And that's going to come very soon, I assure you. So guys, take a look here. I'm going to show you guys something very significant that happened. Okay, if you are a big player in this game, you're going to have strategy, and you're going to be working with your teammates. You're going to be executing specific strategies at specific times when people are caught the most off guard. Do you guys know what time the daily candle closes? Central Standard Time closes at 7 p.m. Whatever time that is for you, okay? Do you guys see what I'm saying right here? Right there. July 4, July the 5th. The daily candle closes at, for me, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, if you look right here, this candle started happening at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. And then this candle was 6:30 Central Standard Time. And as soon as 7 p.m. hit, which meant the previous day's daily closed, bam, the bulls rolled right back into here, right? Riding it from pretty much exactly $11,000 and bullishly defending their territory up a whole 2.5%. Is that not interesting to find out that this game is a strategy game after all? And regardless of what you guys do or what I do, we're nothing but just little fish in a really huge pond, and all that we can really do is just follow the way the market ends up going, right? Which is kind of sad in a way. I'm just lowering my monitor a little bit. It's a lot more comfortable like this, actually. It's kind of sad a little bit, but actually that's way too low. But that's just the nature of the market, and how we're just tiny little fish in this pond, and we're nothing but pawns that could be taken out by every other chess piece. And yeah, so don't ever think that we have a lot of control in the market, guys, unless you're playing with, you know, tens of millions of dollars, right? And even back then when I used to play with, you know, anywhere 6 figures and up, it still was nothing. Even in the market cap, like a small cap coin, or even with a $24 million 24-hour coin for volume. So anyways, let's move on. So if we look at the, for example, the 3-day right now, 3-day is still trending very nicely. Can't complain about that whatsoever. The only thing that worries me, okay, is this this lower high right here. But we are getting a higher low. So how's this squeeze going to be for the RSI? Are we gaining strength because we're getting a higher low, or are we losing strength because we're getting a lower high, right? Histogram is also peaking down the 3-day. We're looking at over the period of 2 days, lots of inconsistency. What we're seeing is the bears completely push it down. Bulls try to defend again. Bears are pushing down even harder as well right now. And we're seeing this major resistance right now that's established at 12K. That is a strong resistance, guys. Make sure that you're making note of it on the longer time frames. And as you guys know, I talk about the lower time frames, the mediums, and also the longer time frames as well. So then we look on the daily. The daily is what is starting to worry me right here, okay? Because yesterday, or actually two, you know, we're getting some sort of amazing momentum going to the upside, right? We get a histogram peak down. We close with a beautiful histogram that's poking upwards right there, and a nice hammer that coincided the previous day. And then we got this huge green candle right now. But what ended up happening? We go 10% up one day, and we almost got a bearishly engulfing candle. But thank goodness that $11,150 range was paying off. And yesterday, it was the majority of it was actually sell-off volume, right? Sell-off volume combined with the bulls coming to the defense on the 30-minute chart. And now we're just slowly leveling off here. So now what I am waiting to see is I'm waiting to see if we're going to break simply below this specific region or break above this specific region. Now, another thing I want to make funny note of is this right here, okay? That this actually held to be very much so true, okay? Now, I don't know if that is actually a resistance that's going to hold, but what I can say is that these lower regions down over here, I would most certainly consider them bear-trapped regions down over here, okay? So if we're just, you know, drawing something like that, we can kind of see how this is going to go. If this goes up, right, I know you guys are basically thinking to yourself, oh, Philicon's saying the market's going to go up or it's going to go down. Yeah, guys, that's kind of what the market does. It goes up or down, okay? So, but the reason why we try to see if it goes up or down is just to weigh out which way has a higher probability of it going. Does it have a higher probability of it going up or down? And we also have to use supports and resistances strongly to see where, if it does break upwards, could it actually hit a specific point? And is this risk to reward actually worth it? Okay, so let's say that this actually ends up breaking above here. That's going to be a strong resistance. I would probably go long on it, in my opinion. That's a pretty decent scalp for me. I'd probably choose about a 1% right there. Loss max for 2.62 with an RR of about 2.63. I'm down with that right there, okay? If we break well below it, yeah, my next target is going to be pretty low, guys, honestly, okay? If it actually breaks down, I know you guys don't want to hear this, but this is my personal play that I'll be taking. And lately, I've been playing with some pretty big positions, you can say. They're big enough to the point where I don't really want to share it with you guys anymore, because I'm not playing the 10 to 30K anymore. I'm playing a lot bigger, like well over, say, $60,000. And because I moved, I don't really feel the safest disclosing a lot of my positions, if you guys have noticed, right? Since I've moved, I've been keeping things very hush, very private, because a lot of my friends are warning me about my safety and everything as well now. And I think that's pretty important for me to focus on sometimes. So if I were, especially since I'm going to Germany as well, if you guys don't know, right? I'm going to be going to Germany around July the 25th. Pretty excited for that. I'll be going to Frankfurt. I'll be going to Munich. I'll be going to, where else am I going? I'm going to, and then I'll be going to, I think Freitberg. I forgot how to pronounce it. Just to visit like a few friends. And I don't know who I'm going with yet either, to be quite honest. Okay, that's kind of up in the air right now. It really depends on a lot of factors. But anyways, yeah, that's exactly why I'm not disclosing a lot of my positions right now, just for my personal safety. But if we do drop, guys, hate to say it, I'm going to be targeting right around there, right around 10K again. That's going to be my risk to reward for the week. I don't see any reason not to do that, okay? Because this channel is most likely going to hold true. I don't think we're going to end up breaking above 11,400 to test even 11,700 right now. I do believe that we're in correction mode for the short to medium term, like I mentioned. I've also mentioned that early to mid-July, probably till the last week of July, we're going to be in correction mode, right? And we got to ask ourselves, is this a correction or is this a crash? And in my personal opinion, guys, it is not a crash. It is a correction until stated otherwise right now. We still have a very long ways to go for correction. Look how exponential this has been going up lately. Look how parabolic it has been going up as well lately. We're getting a golden crossover for so many different time frames right now. On the 2-hour time frame, we're getting that. On the 3-hour time frame, we're getting a crossover as well. On the weekly, we're sustaining it, which is just beautiful overall. So it's very difficult for me to believe that we're actually in a bear market right now. Despite us correcting a little bit, we got to think of it long term, okay? So the way that I'm seeing this is there's most likely going to be a test around the 10K region first. Some people like Eric Cho are calling like 8,800 or something like that, right? That's a pretty low number in my opinion. And I can't even evaluate that far yet until I have more data. I'm not a long-term analyst, keep in mind. I'm more so focused on day trading and swing trading positions. So as it stands right now, guys, I'll tell you right now that this is my consensus thought, okay? My consensus is that we have fairly strong support for the interim, for the short term actually, I should say, at 11,150. The resistance right now is 11,475. If we break above it, good chance of hitting the upper resistance near around $11,750, right? And then if we break below that, I can almost be certain that I will take this huge risk to reward setup that's definitely in my favor to hit around the $10,000 correction region. But other than that, guys, thank you very much for giving me a chance to redeem myself and come back to the community. You guys watch my videos, etc. like that, okay? So, and I'll be around a lot more. I'm kind of slowly getting back into my groove, and I'm just starting to feel a lot better about life and everything in general. You know how I did it? Easy. I just cut out a lot of shitty people in my life. It's not that hard. If you got issues with people, just cut them out, and you're done. Simple as that. Why keep anything negative in your life, right? I realized, oh, I'd be so sad if I lost some friends, etc., etc. And then I realized, you know what? I don't really care at all. It's just nothing but negativity in my life. Especially the ones that are like, you know, they're like still drinking their faces off and you know, they're still doing a crap ton of drugs and stuff like that. Not really my friends anymore, guys. Like, I don't want to be around that kind of crowd ever anymore. So you guys have my thoughts. I'm still working on my detailed Elliott wave technical analysis, okay? So you guys are gonna have to bear with me. I just want to give you a quick summary for the day and let you guys know where it stands. Other than that, have yourselves a great day and take care. Bye now.